Welcome to EV Unplugged. My name is Craig, and today I'm going to have a look at whether this little £39 device could save you thousands of pounds on your EV car. So what is this little box? Well, this is what we call an OBD reader. It links in with your car's onboard computer and it reads all the technical information and displays it in a fairly relatively easy to understand application on my phone. That's the idea of it. Now, I don't know how well this is going to work, so we're going to find out together. But what I'm trying to find out is, what is the condition of my car's battery? And whether you need to spend thousands of pounds getting it replaced, which is what the media like you to believe. Now, there are many stories out there of EVs having to have their batteries replaced every 10,000 miles, and it's going to cost you tens of thousands of billions of trillions of pounds to repair them. And we know that just is not the case. So you can pay for services from companies that will give you a state of health of your car battery. A lot of second-hand dealers are now providing them as certificates to show that the car's battery is in fact relatively in good condition. We've got cars out there that are doing 100 to 200,000 miles, and they've still got 85 to 90% of their battery life left. So rather than paying for a service to go and tell you how healthy your car battery is, I'm wondering whether this £39 device will do the same thing. I honestly don't know, so let's go and find out and see if it works in my MG4. I will put in the description a link to the things that I'm using, so if you decide that you want to try it, you know exactly what I've used. Anyway, let's go to the MG. Okay, so this little device here, as I say, this is called a VPeak OBD reader on Amazon. I will put a link in the description so you can see which one I've purchased. There are lots of these OBD readers on Amazon. And some of them are a lot cheaper. Unfortunately, they just don't do what we want it to do, or they don't talk to our cars. So the more expensive it is, the more reliable it seems to be, and the more features it has. So I've just opened the box. Comes in a very nice little plastic box here, VPeak. And this is the reader itself. So as it says on there, it says VPeak OBD check BLE. There is a plus version. I don't know what the difference is between the two. Really couldn't see anything that told me what the difference was. So I've gone for this version anyway, because I've seen other people use this version. Now, I'm driving an MG4, and the OBD is just to the left of the steering wheel on the underneath. Some cars, they might be in a pull-down little caddy cubby hole on the side of the steering wheel. Sometimes they may be in the glove box of the passengers. Sometimes they might even be under the center console, but they are generally around this area somewhere. You just need to maybe look online and try and find out where it is if you can't see it, but normally they are quite obvious where they are. Okay, so I'm just crawling underneath here, and my OBD reader is here. I can feel it, so I'm just going to plug that in. Got a little blue light on the bottom, so it's got power, and that's it. It's plugged in. Okay, so on the iPhone, we're going to have a look at car scanner, and I need to tell it to connect, and we're going to tell it it's a Bluetooth device, and there you go. At the top of the list, it says VPeak. So next on that one. Oh. Connection. Let's have a look, see if it's got my car. Hopefully. MG. Okay, so it's an MG4. Next. Okay, so it's now reading the information through that OBD connection into this application. So hopefully we should see some information. Okay, so let's see what we can see. So if I go into dashboard, Yes, 7,000 revs because my car hasn't got an engine, so it's off. So I can delete these dials and everything. I can add my own data. Right. So some of the features in this app are behind the paywall, as in I can't access what I want until I pay for the application. So I'm gonna pay for $7.99 for forever because I think it's worth it. I'm gonna be fixing faults on other people's cars probably with this, so for $7.99, I think that's quite a bargain, really. Okay, so it's connected at least. And we'll go and have a look at the sensors. Okay, this looks a little bit better. So I think it was the wrong model for the year. So that's worth bearing in mind. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. I've got the data. I can see that my car has potentially lost 4% of its charge. So why have I done that? Well, first off, I like to know how things work, and I've got a keen interest in technology. So I was interested in see what information I could get through the OBD into my phone. But also, I wanted to know where my car's battery life is like at the moment with this state of charge. Has it lost a lot of range? It's lost about 8 miles, which isn't a massive amount over the 2 years that I've had it. And I have fast charged this quite a few times while I've been driving around. Most modern EVs, fast charging really doesn't affect them in any way. It can degrade that battery life, whereas most modern EVs, it doesn't affect them in the same way. But I'm also interested in this because I might have friends and family who are looking to buy their first EV, the second EV, and if I can plug that device in and go and look at what the state of health is like of the battery, that could give them quite an informed position of whether that car has been abused or whether it's got a solid, condition battery in it. Because you don't want to be paying over the odds for a battery that's got maybe less than 80% of its life left. Having said that, 80% of its life is probably 200 or 1,000 miles. I don't know anyone who's got a car anywhere near that. So I think this whole myth around batteries just not lasting and failing before the car does it's just blown. Yeah, it's just blown apart. It's not true. It's just fake news out there. And this device kind of proves that that's the case. Yes, it has lost 4%. However, that 4% could be being stored by the car itself as a buffer, so you don't overcharge it, because you do not want to overcharge your car because that causes explosions and so on. If anything, you put too much power into something, it can't put it anywhere. It doesn't work, which is why when you fully charge your car, your regen will turn itself off because it's got nowhere to put that extra energy until you've driven a bit of mileage. Always catches me out, that one. It could be that the car is just misreporting the state of health. I don't know. It could be that the car itself isn't giving the right information to the application and the application is not reading it right. I don't know. Or it could be that, it's lost 4% of its mileage. So I'm going to be monitoring this now over the next sort of 12 months to see how quickly it does drop, if it drops even more. One of the things about EV batteries that have been documented is that they always lose their biggest amount of mileage in the first 2 years really of life. So the first sort of like 18 to 24 months, that is where they will lose their biggest amount of loss. After that sudden loss kind of tapers off and becomes quite flat. It's always the top end of the batteries that loses the ability to hold the charge. Now, the other thing is, it's actually been very, very cold recently, and it's still quite cold. So whether that is having an effect on the battery as well, because cold batteries, especially these ones, just don't like the cold. I mean, my range is far down what it is during the summer months, but that's kind of expected because it's cold. Most modern EVs with the newer star batteries doesn't affect them in the same way. So anyway, I'm going to be looking for some secondhand cars. I'm going to be plugging my device in, and I'm going to go around some of the secondhand markets and see what the state of health are on some of the EVs that are on sale out there. So don't forget, like and subscribe. It helps me out, helps the channel out. Really, really do appreciate it. I can't say that enough. I really do appreciate it. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it does give me support. And when I start to video these secondhand cars, if you're in the market for one, you won't miss out when I do release them. So we're looking at things like those. We're looking at Kias. We're looking at BYDs. We're going to be looking at other MGs. So these secondhand cars on the market, just how good are the batteries in them at the moment of sale? And I'm hoping I can get some evidence for you. So thank you for watching. And until next time, take it easy.